blood, blue, rust, rainbow, and green. The season of colors is in full force. Hi everybody, welcome to the Junkyard Joust. I'm Aaron Yonda. Here are the 5 teams and 50 cars that will be competing, crashing for glory. Let's take a look at the teams. In several appearances, Bloodbath and Beyond have only made it to the main event once. They are looking to make a name for themselves. We've only seen the Blue Blockers once, but this time they have the Pontiac Firebird, which did great last season. In Season 8, Soylent Green got 5th in the finals, but they don't have the car that got them to that point, Rareflow. We haven't seen Ragged Rust since all the way back in Season 2. Will they be able to get something started? And here is a brand new team featuring all the colors appropriate for this season, Rainbow Road Rage. I'm your announcer, Aaron Yonda, up here in the booth, and I'm excited about this match. What is that noise? It sounds like we might have a special guest in the junkyard.
Boom! It's me, John Madden.
John Madden, how'd you get here?
Hey, I found a wormhole. And when you find a hole, you gotta go through it and get a touchdown.
Well, this is amazing. A famous football announcer in the junkyard.
I'd come out and stand on the sidelines, but, I gotta broadcast from inside the bus or else I could really screw up the space-time continuum.
All right, fair enough. Well, it's great to have you with us. You're here just in time to commemorate our brand new barrier at the end of the track. No more safety rail. And the joust hasn't even started. We've already got a baby on the track. It's baby Petey.
Baby Petey had a torn ACL last season, and we'll see if the rehab paid off. Hey, let's joust.
Here we go then. Round 1, 91 Mazda MX-5 Miata for Soylent Green, sponsored by King Jester and driven by Petey, who manages to stay in the front seat there. We'll see if he can maintain that. Coming down next, it's the 23 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red Eye for Rainbow Road Rage, sponsored by K&E Stewart Agri-Services. The Challenger slams that Miata hard, and Petey goes tumbling.
That's why seatbelts are a thing.
Ragged Rust sending down the 69 Custom Eldorado, sponsored by Mukau Horsepower. The Eldorado slams into position. The doors are wide to give it stability, and looks like the hood is coming off. That car certainly looks ragged. Pontiac Firebird for Blue Blockers, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. As John Madden would say, boom! The Firebird slams the Eldorado. The hood goes flying up into the sky.
You got hit hard when your hood flies off.
The Eldorado itself manages to stay locked in on the track. What a hit. First up for Bloodbath and Beyond, the MBX Tangiers Tuk Tuk, sponsored by Farty Martin. Cookie on board and manages to stay on board, but that Tuk Tuk is in a bad position, and the Firebird's getting under the Eldorado. Next up for Soylent, the Nissan Skyline C210, sponsored by K&E Stewart Agri-Services. The Skyline slams into the line, and the Tuk Tuk goes flying.
You had one baby out there, and now there's 2 babies, here and here, and it's past their bedtime.
The Tuk Tuk is also taking a nap, and that's the first elimination of this match. Here comes the 95 VW Golf Harlequin, sponsored by Coffee Run. The Golf with what could have been a devastating hit, but the Skyline and the Pontiac Firebird both survive it. 2 solid recoveries for green and blue. Next up for the Rust 80 Chevy Citation, sponsored by StarCorps Industries. Citation slams the line, and the Eldorado is forced off, flipped over, eliminated. That's 2 down. Once 2 teams have no cars left alive, this match will be over. The Rover 3500, sponsored by the Mad Brick King. Rover slams the line. We got 5 cars backed up, and we're moving down. Fished and chipped. 63 grams, sponsored by Ling's the Cat Lover. Solid smack from Fished and Chipped, but it locks in, cannot do much to that line. It still runs. It's the Gallant Eterna, sponsored by Sicken. One of the original members of Soylent Green. You can see why this car is still jousting. Look at that beautiful flip over to a recovery. Always fun to watch the Gallant in action. Next up, the 64 Custom Plymouth Barracuda for the Rainbow Road Rage, sponsored by Jesus. Barracuda just escapes the track, does not lock in, does not want any part of it, wants to be safe, and there's nothing wrong with that. 97 Mazda RX-7, sponsored by Judy Collins for the Rust. The RX-7 does not lock in, it goes curbside, and now it will be vulnerable for the next vehicle, which is the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5FD, sponsored by DYW Production Labs. Boom, there it goes. A nice takedown. Ragged Rust is going to lose the RX-7. Skids to a stop, goes upside down and out. Here comes the Nissan Z Pandem, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. The Nissan locks it in, not surprising at all. The line is tight and that car is nice and wide. Saw some paint fly. 61 Harvester Scout, sponsored by Sloss Automotive Sachet and Buffet. The Scout also locks it in. These cars are solid. No one getting eliminated. Long line. The heaviest vehicle in this match, 131 gram Sparkle Smash, sponsored by Chief. Boom! The line does buckle and break. The Mustang is taken down. Cool looking car, but it is out now. A loss for the Blue Blockers. Surprisingly, only one elimination on that big hit. 55 Plymouth Savoy, sponsored by Avery's Reliable Autos. The Savoy hits that line, and we've got some buckling going on down at the front. The Hellcat is being pushed up way down there for Rainbow. We'll see if it gets pushed off. 96 Nissan 180SX, sponsored by Beast Busted Barn Finds. The line stays tight, and the Hellcat falls backwards a little bit and survives the hit. There's a little looseness farther up front. See how that plays out. 64 Ford Thunderbird, sponsored by Frank's Fork Factory, now with free Frank Fridays. No ramps, no undercutters, no big rigs. This match has just been a knockdown, drag 'em out. Here comes the 65 Ford Mustang, sponsored by Chorgoth the Infinite Horror. The Mustang forces the 180SX off the track. It stays alive, a nice level landing. Mustang, we saw that car a long time ago. Bob Ross joined us last episode. He's still hanging out. Second Wind going down now, sponsored by Reaper EOD. A nice hit, and Bob goes sprawling down the grass.
You got babies lying all over the place. Bob Ross is flat on his back, but that's the joust.
The 33 Willies was in the minor leagues and performed pretty good. Sponsored by the Test Joust series over on the Junkyard Joust Discord. No eliminations on that hit. Something flew off of one of those cars. Big chunk of paint. Things are getting loose. Nissan Skyline HT 2000 GTX, sponsored by Emo Dingo. Plenty more action. Second Wind escapes. The Mustang goes off to the right. Thunderbird goes off to the left. No eliminations, though, on that hit. We got a competition here, folks. 73 Honda Civic Custom, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. Last car of the round. Slams into the line and doesn't get any eliminations. Maybe a close call for the Skyline. And that'll be the end of round one. 5 eliminations. We actually have 2 measurements up front. Fished and Chipped got underneath the Rover, and it didn't end well for the Rover. It's at 54 degrees. It will be out. Good news for Bloodbath and Beyond. Fished and Chipped only at 37 degrees. Below 45, it's in. So the round will end with 6 eliminations. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Biggest hit were Ragged Rust and the Blue Blockers, losing 2 each. Rainbow and Bloodbath each lost 1. They're down to 4. Soylent Green did not lose a car. They're steady at 5. And they will start us off in round 2 with the Miata and Petey driving down.
Petey can go in the car or out of the car, but if the car goes off the track, then that's what matters.
Barracuda slots in next. The Miata holds firm. So firm, in fact, that Fished and Chipped displaces the Barracuda. The Miata still managing to stay locked in. And the Firebird takes full advantage of it, taking down the Barracuda, skidding along Fished and Chipped itself, driving off the track. Firebird on the edge of the track, that is generally below 45. The back of Fished and Chipped can be dangerous, closest thing to a ramp we've got, but the Willys has no problem with it. It also has no problem with the Nissan Skyline, which is the nearest thing to an undercutter in this match. Hit deflected. The Harlequin takes a shot at the Skyline, flips it over, and it tumbles to a nice recovery. Looking good for Soylent Green. No eliminations for them yet. Pandem locks in next for Bloodbath and Beyond. The 180SX manages to get underneath the Pandem, and it doesn't go over, but it is vulnerable. The Plymouth Savoy slams the 180SX, throws it over. It goes upside down, and instead of the Pandem getting taken out, the SX is eliminated for Blue Blockers. The Gallant slams the Savoy, tries to get away, does not come off clean, and it will be in trouble. Second Wind goes right under the Gallant, slams the Savoy. Look at that dismount by the Savoy. Perfect landing.
Looks like Bob Ross is gonna need a nap under one of those happy little trees.
The Ford Thunderbird thunders into the line, and the Gulf goes over. An elimination for Road Rage. Second Wind able to get under nicely. The GTX slots in for Blue Blockers, who are now down to just 2 cars. The Chevy Citation slams the line, forces the Thunderbird to go curbside. And now the Thunderbird is in trouble. That smack from the Mustang has forced it up and just about over. Huge hit from Sparkle Smash, and the Skyline taken out for Blue Blockers.
They got a Soylent Green hot dog at the Superdome, but I don't know what it tastes like. I think unicorn meat, they say, is pretty good, and now I'm getting hungry.
Blue Blockers may be losing their appetite, actually. They're down to 1 car. Final 2 for round 2. The Honda Civic plows into the line. No damage on that hit. The Citation sticks around. Harvester Scout pushes into the line, and still no damage on that hit. And we'll call it for round 2 for eliminations. We'll take a couple quick measurements just to make sure that the cars are not eliminated. The Chevy Citation, definitely not eliminated. 35 degrees, no problem. Same for the Firebird. Good to go at 37. So 4 it will be. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Rainbow Road Rage falls down to 2 from 4. They lost half the remaining team. Blue Blockers are in crisis, down to only the Firebird now. Soylent Green still steady at 5.
Yeah, I think Soylent Green is gonna win this thing, but the joust ain't over until the end of it.
Wise words from John Madden as the Miata takes its position down at the end of the track. And proving to be a good starter car for Bloodbath and Beyond, Fished and Chipped locks it in. 33 Willies causes a little buckle. The Miata is starting to go up, and the next hit's gonna be a doozy. Sparkle Smash delivers a big one, and look at the Miata recover from that like it was nothing. Pops up into the air and just lands it, no problem. Firebird locks in, the Miata fully escapes the track. The Skyline lines up, we've got 5 cars down the track. Ford Thunderbird with the takedown. The Skyline is finally taken down. A little bad bounce right there. Can't quite make it back over again. And Soylent finally loses a car. The Savoy shovels the Thunderbird off the track, but the Thunderbird is good to go. Nice recovery. Second Wind slams the Savoy, and Bob goes hurtling through the sky. Plymouth handles that hit, no problem. Here comes the Gallant with a launch. Second Wind turns into a ramp by driving up on the trunk of the Savoy, and the Gallant bounces nicely, nimbly, but cannot make the recovery. Gets stuck against the crates. Tandem tries a takedown on Second Wind. It does not go for it. Escapes the track. Great news for Road Rage. The Citation fumbles the hit and goes curbside off of the Pandem, and now it is in trouble. Ford Mustang tries to take advantage. The Citation does a great job of staying level, bouncing off the Second Wind and planting it. Good recovery there. 2 cars left, and they will be the Honda Civic and the Harvester Scout for Soylent. No action there. That will end the round. Only 2 eliminations in round 3, but they were both from Soylent Green. That's going to bring Soylent Green back down to earth. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Soylent falls from 5 to 3, and we have a new leader. It's Bloodbath and Beyond.
Just when you thought Soylent Green was unstoppable, boom, they're stoppable.
And now Bloodbath and Beyond looking pretty good as we start out round 4 with Fished and Chipped slotting into position. Followed up by the 33 Willies, which does a great job staying stable. And now the Miata, which we've gotten used to seeing first, comes down 3rd. Manages to stay locked in now, proving a good car for Soylent. And of course, right when I say that, I think I doomed the Miata. It is taken down violently. Second Wind perches itself on back of the Willies now. The Miata is out, and now maybe Second Wind is going to be a ramp. Pontiac Firebird says, I'm game, I'll take this ramp, I don't care. It flips over, look at that recovery, just playing with it, having fun. Hitting a height of 6 before it pulls off the landing, square on the ground, keeping the blue blockers' hopes alive. Thunderbird struggles with the back of second wind and goes curbside, but then it handles the hit by the Plymouth Savoy with ease. Slamming into the crates, its hood flopping up and down, but it stays nice and level. Savoy's curbside. Soylent Green's Mustang with a takedown on the Savoy, flipping it over and out. That'll take Ragged Rust down to 2 cars. Sparkle Smash finally gets some action, pushes into the line, creates a pile, gets an elimination, takes down that Mustang. The Willys hangs on, second wind escapes. All cars are still connected to the track, something big could still happen. And it does when the Pandem smashes into Sparkle Smash, flipping over the Mustang. It goes sideways, then it rotates back onto its tires, and it has survived. The Willys, however, not so lucky, it's out. 2 down in the round so far, they are both from Ragged Rust. The citation is the last hope. The Harvester Scout slams it off the track, takes it down, and Ragged Rust just lost another one, folks. Unless there is a miracle, Ragged Rust have been eliminated in this round, all 3 cars. The Honda Civic settles in, and that will be it for the round. 3 eliminations, and our first team is gone. Truly some bad luck for Ragged Rust, but they will not make the main event. And if they come back, they're going to have to go through the minor leagues. Ragged Rust falls off the map. Soylent Green falls down to 2, even with Rainbow Road Rage. Blue Blocker still hanging on with 1. Bloodbath and Beyond are dominating. Round 5, we're going to head out for some fish and chips. Although I did hear that John Madden is cooking us up something special.
As soon as I get this turducken out of the microwave, I gotta let it cool down. Me and Bob Ross and the babies are gonna eat it.
Hopefully somebody can throw a turkey leg up to me in the recording booth. That sounds way too good to miss out on. No eliminations yet in this round. Pontiac Firebird takes a shot at that Mustang for Soylent, but it has proven resilient. The Thunderbird tries to end the match by taking out the Firebird, and it doesn't work. Firebird pops right back in your face. Blue Blocker's still alive. Sparkle Smash with a big hit. This thing has not been as effective as you might think. It is heavy, but the cars are surviving these massive wallops. The Harvester Scout slots in. We got 3 cars lined up. Pandem takes a shot. The line's too tight. Nothing doing. Bloodbath and Beyond likes to send down that Civic last, and that will end the round. No eliminations. That means we get to go to increased speeds. All the cars will be coming down at a much faster clip. We're going to see some eliminations now. Bloodbath and Beyond starting us off with Fished and Chipped yet again. Followed up by the Mustang for Soylent. Bob and Second Wind take a shot, try to take out that Mustang. Again, it proves too tough. Surviving, landing on top of Evil Weeble as Bob goes flying into the crates. Boom! The Firebird attempts a takedown on Second Wind. It ramps off of it, it flips over, it goes upside down. This looks like it's it. The mighty Firebird is upside down. If they can't find a way back up, match is over. Pandem slams into the line and drives off to safety. Whoa, look at that. The Firebird actually just about made a recovery on that hit. That thing wants to get back upright. Ooh, a huge mistake there. The Harvester Scout ramps off of Fished and Chipped, and the Firebird is back, everybody. Blue Blocker saved from the edge of the cliff, and now Soylent is gonna lose one. Big mistake. An increased speed hit from Sparkle Smash. Fished and Chipped will not budge, and it almost ended badly for Sparkle. Somehow managed to lock that back in. And the Thunderbird retightens that line. Honda Civic doesn't have anything to add to the conversation. Bloodbath and Beyond don't want any trouble there anyway. It's their own 2 cars. And that will end the round with 1 elimination and 1 miracle recovery. The Firebird proving elusive. The Harvester Scout will exit. Soylent Green is going to fall from 2 to just the Mustang. Right now, Soylent and Blue Blockers are still on the cusp. Rainbow Road Rage with 2 and Bloodbath and Beyond solid with 4.
Like I was saying the whole time, Bloodbath and Beyond isn't just a tough team, they're the toughest team.
That is looking very true right now. Can Fished and Chipped even be touched? Second Wind cannot remove it and escapes to safety itself. Bob smashes his face into a wall. And now the Mustang is poised for a mishap. Drives up on the back of Fished and Chipped. This could be trouble. It could come down to Blue Blockers versus Soylent, and right there, Blue Blockers had a chance to take Soylent out. The Mustang, yet again, survives. Look at that recovery. The Thunderbird enters the fray, smashes the Firebird off the track completely, and then flies off to freedom itself. Sparkle Smash tries again to take down Fished and Chipped. Did you just see what that thing did? It falls off the track, gets tripped up on its horn or maybe its ears, and somehow tumbles back right side up. Does not manage to take Fished and Chipped down, but finally gets it off the track just about. Pandem's got to be careful here and is relatively careful. Doesn't take Fished and Chipped out. Pacific punches in for work and nobody eliminated here either. We're going to have to go to increased speeds to see who's going to win this match. And it was great getting a little taste of what Sparkle Smash can do when trying to make a recovery in that round. Fished and Chipped will start us off. Looks like John Madden picked a good match to drive through a wormhole in time and space to see. This one is going the distance. A maximum speed hit from Second Wind finally gets Fished and Chipped to go curbside at the cost of some paint. And where was Bob? Looks like he fell out before the car even got all the way to the end. Pontiac Firebird is doing the work. A chance at a double takedown, gets one of them. Fished and Chipped recovers. Second Wind does not. Increased speeds are taking their due. The Mustang this time with a chance for revenge cannot get the Firebird out of its parking spot. Maybe the shocks on that thing are helping it survive. The Thunderbird tumbles into the fray and turns over sideways, really trying to get that Mustang off the track, and it fails, it backfires. And then Sparkle Smash with a massive hit plunges into the line. The Mustang survives it. The Firebird survives it. The Thunderbird stays down. And then the Pandem somehow gets underneath Sparkle and Smash, putting it in a very vulnerable position. We'll see if it can stay on the track. The Honda Civic with an amazing hit takes down Sparkle Smash, throws it off the track. Sparkle Smash looks like it would have made a recovery, but the track blocks it. The Pandem with an amazing rollover. This thing's over, folks. Unbelievable.
Bloodbath and Beyond is like the 72 Dolphins, except they did lose a couple, but still, 72 Dolphins, one of the greatest teams of all time.
Now I'm starting to wonder what year this John Madden is from. He's making 1972 references. There is the Round 8 aftermath. Soylent Green has won. Blue Blockers have won. Bloodbath and Beyond, a stellar performance with 3 left after 8 rounds. They are looking amazing. Rainbow Road Rage had the staying power. They had more points than Blue Blockers, but it doesn't matter if you don't have any cars left at the end. 9 teams qualified for the main event. It's going to be such a fun main event, and we're just getting started, folks. We'll have another qualifier next week. So, John, are you going to stick around, or do you have to get going?
My bus driver, Gary, says he's got to fix a flux capacitor or whatever that is, and then as soon as that happens, then I'll be bussing back to the great beyond.
Well, it was a lot of fun having a sports legend here at the Junkyard. If you'd like to see more John Madden, leave a comment or let me know who you'd like to see show up at the Junkyard. Become a patron now. It helps me do more stuff like this. Thank you so much for supporting this show. To all my patrons, see you next time, everybody.